Hello and welcome again to the Bring It Out podcast by Mr. JG1. Today's episode of the Bring It Out podcast will be talking about COVID gag rules at U.S. companies are putting everyone at risk. So stay tuned in to the Bring It Out podcast. Hello, and we're going to go into this. And so we're going to talk about this gag rules at U.S. companies for their employees. So I'm reading this article, and the article says that employees say the biggest names in America's business have banned them from alerting others to coronavirus outbreaks. And this is by Josh Eldelson. Lindsay Ruck was just starting her Father's Day brunch shift at the Cheesecake Factory in Chandler, Arizona, when her boss told her a co-worker had COVID-19. In between making Bloody Marys, Ruck shared the news with several of her colleagues, who'd been worrying about such a moment since the restaurant reopened the month before. At the end of Ruck's shift, when she went to the back office to count her cash, her boss and another supervisor were waiting. Her boss, the general manager, told her she wasn't allowed to mention the coronavirus case to anyone, including fellow staffers. The company was informing only the people who worked during the sick employee's last shift, and per Cheesecake higher ups. Even the information that any worker had tested positive was deemed private. Ruck recalls realizing she could be among those kept in the dark about the next sick colleague. She filed a complaint with the National Labor Relations Board and took a couple of weeks off while waiting the results of a COVID test and weighing whether to keep working there. After getting a negative test result, she returned to the restaurant in need of a paycheck. "I don't know what kind of risk I'm putting on my family," said Ruck, who has young kids, plus an elder mother nearby. She worked for the Cheesecake Factory for about 13 years, but says it suddenly feels a lot tougher to trust that company, which promises its staff unlimited smiles will keep her safe. Cheesecake Factory Incorporated said in a statement that it was balancing its obligations to protect private and confidential health information while allowing discussing of COVID issues. A Cheesecake lawyer asked Ruck to withdraw her NLRB complaint in exchange for the company posting a notice at her restaurant affirming that employees have the right to discuss health and safety issues. She says she agreed after learning that the labor board can't levy punitive damages. "It doesn't feel like it has a lot of teeth," Ruck says. "I'm not convinced it will ultimately change their behavior or any other company." In the past few months, the U.S. businesses have been on a silencing spree. Hundreds of U.S. employers across a wide range of industries have told workers not to share the information about COVID-19 cases or even raise concerns about the virus, or have retaliated against workers for doing those things. According to workplace complaints filed with the NLRB and the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA, workers at Amazon.com, Cargill, McDonald's, and Target say they were told to keep COVID cases quiet. The same sort of gagging has been alleged in OSHA complaints against Smithfield Foods, Urban Outfitters, and General Electric. In an email viewed by Bloomberg Businessweek, Delta Airlines told its 25,000 flight attendants to please restrain from notifying other crew members on your own about any COVID symptoms or diagnosis. At the Recreation Equipment Incorporated, an employee texts colleagues to say he tested positive and that I was told not to tell anybody and to not post or say anything on social media. So what do you guys think of this? I understand the company trying to protect themselves as well as their company, their employees, and keeping these matters private. So you have to give them a little leeway to find out if it's a legit case, of course, and that's reasonable. But what you guys think? Should they silence the people? Or why did it take this before they said, well, it's okay for them to talk about health issues? So what you guys think? Y'all leave a comment, you like, follow, you know the routine. Thank you again for joining the Bring It Out podcast. And y'all have a great evening and God bless.